and therefore, oh, I think the seat just broke. Yeah. I gotta be honest, this wasn't exactly how I planned to start this video. Hello one and all, welcome to Seen Through Glass. Welcome to LA, welcome to a stunning 1971 911 Targa. I rented this car for the weekend. I'm here to attend a massive Porsche event called Air Water. It's tomorrow. I arrived in LA yesterday and I've been driving this thing around for the last 24 hours. Absolutely loving it, being like, oh my God, I need to move to the city and buy a classic 911. But then this morning, I got up, had about 17 coffees to get over the jet lag, thought, right, let's get out and start filming. But then, well, the throttle pedal stopped working. Yeah, I'm currently broken down at the side of the road. If I hit the throttle pedal, it just bounces around. There's like no pressure or weight to it. I can hear what sounds like the throttle cable bouncing around down here. Don't know if it's just come loose or it's like snapped. But yeah, no throttle. And I think I need a throttle. Thing is, I'm not that upset. I'm not that fussed. I'm in LA. The weather is glorious. This car is stunning. So whether I'm sitting in it or standing outside it, I'm like, what a thing. Everyone keeps giving me thumbs up. Everything okay? I'm like, yeah, no problem. I've called the owner. He's on the way. I don't know if he's coming with a flatbed or with a toolkit, but we're just going with the flow. Like, you know, maybe things are going to go downhill, but it's not even midday. You know, I'm just classic car life, people. And after about 45 minutes of that classic car life, you know, standing by the side of the road and admiring cars that drove past, the owner turned up. He looked under the car, identified the problem, did a bit of a hack job to get the revs up on the engine, and managed to somehow drive off, shouting, "I'll be back in 5 hours." Meanwhile, he left me the keys to his 993 Cabriolet so I could continue to make my various meetings and do a little exploring. So I just cracked on and waited for a call on the fate of the awesome little Targa. Well, boys and girls, we're back in action. This car came back to me quite late last night. I got a call from the owner around 8 PM saying, "The car is fixed, I'm on my way." I'm doing that slightly strange voice because he's German and I'm trying to replicate his accent, just not doing a very good job of it. But I was so pleased because, you know, as the day went on yesterday and I felt like it was looking less and less likely that I would get this car back, I started to feel a bit disheartened because I loved driving this thing around for the first 24 hours. I had it so much that I thought if I didn't have a chance to drive it some more, I would be a bit gutted. So yeah, anyway, here we are in the car once again. I've just got a coffee from Alfred's Coffee. I don't know anything about it, but it says, "But first coffee on the cup," and that's like my mantra for life. So I was like, oh, I should go there. And so yeah, whilst I am ecstatic to be back in this car, the experience I had with it yesterday has made today a little bit more nerve-wracking. Today is this big Porsche car show that I'm here to attend, Air Water. Thing is, it's actually like an hour south of where I am currently. It's in Costa Mesa, which is in Orange County. And initially I was like, oh, you know, that'll be fun, I'll be part of the adventure. Now I'm a little bit nervous because it's a long way to go if I can't make it back or if I break down on the way there. I mean, like I said yesterday, this is classic car life. You just don't know if you're going to make it to your destination or home again. It's kind of part of the fun. And I gotta be honest, it is fun because yes, driving this car around this city is amazing. I feel like I'm in a movie set. I mean, it's just unreal. And even if it all goes tits up once again, I think I'll still be happy. This is peak STG, people. Coffee, classic 911, LA sunshine. We're back. Where have we been? I don't know, but we're back. Now you might be wondering what it's like to drive a 50-year-old 911 on LA's famously busy highways. Really not that bad. When this car left the factory, it would have had around 180 horsepower. So let's assume with time some of those horsepower have disappeared. So we don't have a lot of speed, but the thing is not slow. Like, you can get up to highway speed pretty damn quickly. And this car's equipped with the 5-speed gearbox. It's the dogleg first. You can make your way all the way up to 5th gear, which I am now, and it's a great cruiser. Now, I gotta be honest, this particular car has seen better days. It is a rental, so whilst the owner still loves it, it's seen some use. You can probably hear some fairly aggressive squeaking from the suspension. I don't think that's normal for all 70s 911. So yeah, you know, it's a bit shaky, but actually, it's a pleasure to drive. You know, as I say, at these speeds, if anything, it's better than it was meandering around town. So yeah, don't be scared if you are considering coming and doing this trip of going away further afield, apart from the reliability. It's totally fine to drive. There's obviously still a big question mark about whether we're going to get to the destination. I've also got an earphone in just to help with Google Maps and things like that, because obviously there's no Apple CarPlay in this thing. So I've got a phone running over on the side that can shout out, take the next junction. So I've also got some music there. So I honestly, yeah, it's great. I can go for miles in this thing.
Is it your dash?
Sure.
Go ahead and park anywhere to the back, and then the is right there.
Perfect, I see it there. Okay, great. Thank you. I feel like it's fairly safe for me to assume that if you're not into Porsches, you're probably not watching this video, because it's already been pretty Porsche heavy. If you're like 50-50, you've been kind of enjoying the video so far, but hoping that at some point I'm going to show you some other cars, turn the video off now, because I really underestimated the scale of this event. There are thousands of Porsches here, like thousands, and in my mind, they're all amazing. It is impossible for me to really demonstrate the scale of what's going on here and show you all of the cars, but I'm going to try my best, because literally every single one I'm like, I love you, I want you, I need you, I'm going to buy you. So yeah, as I say, if you think all 911s kind of look the same, if you're a bit bored of the Porsche nerdy chat, just leave, because yeah, the next, I don't even know how long, is going to be full of nerdy Porsche overexcitement. There are a lot of people here as well, so filming's going to be a bit tough, but let's dive in. So Air-Water is a relatively new event from the team at Luftgekühlt, which is one of the most exclusive and spectacular Porsche events that happens each year. That event is reserved only for air-cooled Porsches, hence the name. Luftgekühlt literally means air-cooled in German. They're staged in spectacular venues with only a handful of super special cars on display. Air-Water, the sister show, is kind of the opposite. It's all about inclusivity. Every Porsche can be included and everyone is welcome. I never got the official numbers, but I think it was around 1,100 cars on display and close to 10,000 people on the ground. The cars just kept going. The venue itself wasn't necessarily as special as some of the other Luft venues that I'd seen, but it definitely served a purpose, and as a way to check out an insane amount of Porsches, it was great. Now, there was probably a car for everyone at this show, and it's simply impossible for me to show you them all. But a couple which stuck out to me included this super rare 968 Turbo S. I'm not a massive fan of 968s in general, but this thing is just awesome to see. There was this sort of ratty 911 with a surfboard on the roof, amongst a whole load of beautifully displayed cars. It was cool to see something with a whole load of patina. This delivery mileage Carrera GT in this kind of crazy rare spec, and an ice green 930 Turbo, which was the original inspiration for the colour on my 992 GT3. Now, I know Ferrari and Lamborghini do similar style large events with hundreds of cars and thousands of people in attendance, but there was something about this event which felt truly unique. Wow. Like, I don't know what else to say. Oh my God. I mean, I've been to other car events of a similar size, but not for one manufacturer. I don't think there's anywhere else in the world that could do this. Okay, yes, America, but California feels like the home of Porsche outside of Germany. It's just the passion that I've talked to so many people. I've been here 4.5 hours. I feel like I've barely scratched the surface, not just in terms of what I've seen, but what I've been able to show you. It's just great to just natter, and yeah, this brand is very unique. It's what I discovered during Drive the World. It's a proper community, unlike many other manufacturers. But I'm going to quit whilst I'm ahead, whilst I could stay here for another 3 days checking out all the cars. I've got the keys to this Targa, and I'm here in LA, and it's a short trip, so I want to max it out. We're going to head back towards LA, Beverly Hills, Hollywood, etc. It's going to be a slightly longer journey because of LA traffic. It's probably about an hour and a half now. And yeah, I've got to get some lunch. Maybe we'll head to the beach. I don't know. Let's just see. Let's just continue to live my best life, and hopefully a life that you can enjoy watching here in LA with this car. Can you tell from the smile on my face that I'm quite enjoying this experience? I feel like I've made that quite clear in the video so far, but people often ask me why I like driving classic cars so much, and by people I do mean Tony from Grovelwood Car Sales. But I think I've been thinking about it over the last hour or so as I made my way back here to Beverly Hills, and I think for me, when you drive a car from the 50s, 60s or 70s, it really feels like a very collaborative effort between you and the car. You have to work together to get to your destination. Modern cars are fantastic, but these days, most of the time, you're just a passenger. You're not very involved with what's going on. Whilst with this car, or a car of this era, yeah, you have to work together, and if you don't, well, you're just not going to make your destination. You know, and sometimes you let each other down. Like yesterday, the car let me down. But today, you know, every now and again, I've munched a gear. This gearbox is a little unforgiving. I'm not afraid to admit it. I've got it wrong every now and again, but we apologise to each other and we move on. And it means that I think you can bond with the car so much quicker. I've been driving this thing for like, what, 36 hours? And I'm obsessed. And it's really a bit of a dog. I should have half mentioned it already. It's had a hard life, this thing, and it's squeaking and shaking and rattling, but I don't care. It's part of its little charm, and I feel like, come on, you little car. I mean, you just got me down to Costa Mesa for a huge car show. Everywhere we go, people have been commenting on how amazing the car looks, and therefore, oh, I think the chair just broke, the seat just broke. Yeah, this is what I mean, every now and again, but you know, that's all right. Who needs a seat back? Okay, well, let's fix that when I pull over. But that's the thing, I'm like, ha ha, amazing. I couldn't care less. Well, you know what they say, when in Rome. I mean, I'm not in Rome, I'm in Malibu, but it's my last day here in LA, and I thought before I left, I had to get up early for a bit of a sunrise canyon carving drive. A slightly brave thing to do in this car because, well, as you now know, it's not exactly been reliable. And yeah, pushing hard in it feels a little nerve-wracking. Even if it was the best ever 911S Targa from 1971, it would still be quite a brave thing to do, to push it on these roads, because, okay, they're maybe not quite as technical as some of the amazing European out roads, but don't forget, we are 20 minutes from, like, Beverly Hills. It's outrageous that all of this is on the doorstep for local LA lights? You're a Los Angelian. I'm making these words up, aren't I? But yeah, it's been an absolute blast. And last night, I took this car down to record an episode for Spike's Car Radio. I think some of you will know about Spike's Car Radio, but maybe some of you don't. Essentially, it's a podcast run here that, well, it's a load of Porsche enthusiasts. So Spike, Zuckerman, Johnny Lieberman was there as well. He's a big automotive journalist here in the US. They really love their Porsches. So I thought rolling up in this, they'd be like, cool, yeah, okay, fine, it's not the best version, but well done, Sam. Instead, they picked it apart. They literally spent 15 minutes on the driveway just going, this is a pile of poo, which really broke my heart, because as I was saying to you yesterday, I have formed an attachment with this thing. I'm going to show you in a second what they showed me last night. But I've been joined today by the two cars that were on the stand at GT3 Belts display yesterday, Air and Water. So we've got a bit of a sort of, final day drive up here, get some coffee down in Malibu, and then I've got a couple of meetings before I head home. But yeah, I'm going to miss this Californian car culture. It is a little hard to beat. We'll come back to the stunning GT3 Belts cars, the Irish Green 992 Touring and of course the 991.2 RS in a second, because yes, here we are, my beloved Targa, not mine at all, it is a rental. I was aware of some of the dings, the scratches, the little interesting wear and tear elements on this car. I didn't mind those things, but the guys did point out to me that it is about 75 shades of gold, which you can see in this light. I mean, different curves, a sort of greeny lime, sometimes it's orange, different panels are completely different colours. I mean, I guess it's a 50-year-old car. I was like, I'm not that fussed, but they started calling it Pontiac gold, which they all found very funny, but I was like, come on guys, it's, Californian sun, what a thing. There was more stuff which they spotted in terms of, well, they don't think the ride height is at all right, and given the squeaks of the suspension, maybe it's just failed entirely, so they said good luck on the Canyons, but we've been all right. Engine mounts in the back, I mean, they had the engine cover up. They were really going to town on this thing. They said the Florida title or plate essentially means that this car could have been involved in a complete write-off or flood damage. You'd never know, because you just stick a Florida plate on. Apparently that's all fine. The alignment was all off. I mean, they literally had a list of about 50 points that said this is just the worst car they've ever seen. I'm not going to listen to them, because as I say, I've been having an absolutely brilliant time. And look at this thing up here on the canyons overlooking the Pacific Ocean, and I guess that's Pacific Coast Highway down there somewhere. It has just been glorious. And okay, fine, I'm taking it fairly slow and steady, and at one point I braked heavily and my suitcase shot forward and the boot flung open, but that's just part of the charm. So yeah, I am still truly happy in this thing, and whilst we've been joined by two of my favourite modern day Porsches, especially this Irish Green Touring, I'm pretty happy in here. Okay, yes, I would like to drive this on the way back down, and maybe I will, but I mean, it's just still got so much charm. So yeah, let me show you these cars as I said that word. This thing is spectacular. So one of the most recent conversions that GT3 Belts have done. And this spec, this is probably, if I hadn't done my spec, this is probably what I would have done. Irish Green was the first colour green Porsche I ever had. If you remember my 718 Cayman S, I wrapped in Irish Green. It's a famous Porsche colour. And look at these tartan seat inserts. Absolutely outrageous, but of course we also have the rear seats and the matching baby seat, just like I have, only this car has a 7-month-old, so I'm going to be using those fully. And then look, this is a new feature from GT3 Belts, these kind of RS-like or ST-like pulleys on the doors, so I might have to start looking into those. But yeah, absolutely stunning car, arguably one of the best Tourings I've seen in a while. And then the GT3 Belts 3 RS, which is so aggressive, and again, of course, as you can imagine, fully kitted out with all the bits and bobs. I mean, this one definitely stands out, which I guess is the whole point, as a bit of a demonstration display car. But I mean, look at that lineup, and the little car doesn't look out of place, does it? Does show you how big they've got over the years, though. Look at the size difference. Oh, Porsche life. I know you'll get annoyed by me banging on about Porsches, but this is pretty wild, people. So it's just, no, that's basically everyone else up here this morning has been sports cars until that. We've literally only seen like 458s, Aston Martin Vantages, Porsches, and then finally a normal car. But yeah, I reckon let's jump back in, go for a blast down there. What a perfect way to end this trip, honestly. It has been a special few days. Lots going on behind the scenes, as I mentioned. My appearance on Spike's Car Radio. I also went and did an episode with Matt Farrell, The Smoking Tire. I've had various meetings for projects that are coming in the summer, so we've crammed a lot in, but it's been spectacular. This is Blue Bottle Coffee. It's like the Starbucks of specialty roasted coffee. They got branches all over the place, but it's actually genuinely decent coffee. And yeah, we're gonna sit here, watch some of the other cars rolling in, because it's turning into a bit of a low-key, unofficial car meet. And then yeah, one more thing to do before I head to the airport. I hope you've enjoyed this slightly random Porsche in LA video. I'll be back in the UK next week. I don't even know what I'm doing. My schedule's a mess. But anyway, give it a thumbs up if you have enjoyed it. Stay subscribed for plenty more videos to come.